Record this video because I think it may save you a lot of time programming in the future if you ever run into logic hooks, if ever you're working with a lot of logic hooks. So to give you a quick summary, as you know, you should always try to implement the infinite loop prevention mechanisms inside your logic hooks. And what that means essentially is just we're setting a special flag which prevents our logic hook from running again and again and again. And so I'll give you an example here. For example, we have an after save hook, which is set up on the after save action, basically. So whenever after save action is executed, you're going to run your the following classes method, which is this. And so what happens is that once the method is executed, we're actually going to save the bean, but this saving of the bean action is going to re-execute the same logic hook. So the logic hook is going to keep on re-executing itself. And so the simplest thing to do, and what is mentioned in the official guides, is to set a special flag which is going to prevent this from happening. And so the way that it looks like is very straightforward. So it says here, if the ignore update C is set, then only if this is not set, then proceed with the work. And here we set the flag to true. And so what happens is that the first time you execute this logic hook, it's going to check that this property is now true. And next time it goes to rerun the same logic hook, it's going to be like, oh, okay, no, this is actually true. So we're not going to perform the, it means that this condition is not fulfilled. So we're not actually going to do it again. So it's going to block it right there and then. And so that's a very good mechanism, but there are some cases that you have to be aware of that may make you end up spending a lot of time just basically not understanding what's happening. And I'll give you an example here. So I have my note here. This is an advanced logging function, which I highly recommend you set up. My previous video explains how to do it. It's going to save you a lot of time. So I'm just going to clear my current log. And then I'm going to run the, I'm going to basically execute the function and make sure that the after save hook is executed. So I'm going to perform an action that is going to trigger it. So I'm going to save it. So after the save is done, this logic hook should execute. So this after save one. And the note that I'm looking for here is something that says I'm inside the save C. And let me just double check. And it's there. Okay, perfect. So it's there, it's working. And then in my case, what's happening is that this logic hook works, but there is another logic hook that never actually executes. And the flag that I have here is we're inside this. So let me see if the log contains this entry, and it's not there. So that's strange. So if we take a look at this, I have two logic hooks. One is executed when the relationship is added, and the other one is executed when there is a save action. But one of them is actually not ever executing, which is this one. Even though it should, we have all the checks in place, everything is good, we are adding a relationship, so why is it not working? And the culprit is actually the flag itself. So the verification that it does is that is the ignore update C true or not? And the problem, and that's something that you have to watch out for, is that when you're executing the logic hooks, one of them may set the flag to true. So this guy is going to actually set the flag to true. So when we get to this guy, the ignore update C is also true. So it thinks that the action has already been performed and it does not perform it. So it's a very simple issue of basically the flag name, the flag property being the same inside both logic hooks. So one logic hook is going to set it to true. And so when we get to the other logic hook, and it checks for that same property, it's going to see that it's true and it's not going to do anything, which is wrong. And a very simple thing that you can do to fix it is basically set a unique name. So instead of just being ignore update C, you can put something like ignore, for example, assigned lead update C. So let's see here, 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 like this. We're going to change it. So this is what we want to see in our in our log. I'm going to repair and rebuild here on the system. It's done on my other screen, so you're not seeing it. And now I'm just going to do it again. So let's see if it works this time. So new lead 505, save, and let's see if my log now contains that which I am looking for. And now it is there. So now it does actually make it inside this method. Hopefully it wasn't too confusing. It may save you a whole bunch of time, so just please keep this in mind when working with logic hooks. And if you did enjoy the video, please leave a like if you don't mind, and subscribe because more of these will be made in the future. Thank you.